So yeah, we can.
Yeah, so should I begin the session, ma'am?
Yeah, we can. Go ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. A warm welcome to all of you to this Excel training program. I am your trainer, Pradeep Kaur, and I'm a certified trainer with over 5 years of experience. And I've trained team members from different organizations like DHL, Galaxy Freight, L&T, and Mirage Cinemas. And my area of expertise is Excel, Advanced Excel, Power BI, SQL, and Python. And talking about this particular program, so we'll be learning about the features of Excel, ranging from very basic features of Excel, and we'll dive into advanced features of Excel. Uh, Let me just start with what exactly is Excel. So we will utilize the chat box for the communications, any kind of doubts or questions. We will use the chat box and you all will be unmute yourself for once. Can I have all of you live with me once only? Throughout the session, you will be on mute otherwise. All of you once unmute yourself or in the chat box, a quick yes from all of you that you all are
Yes,
there.
ma'am.
Yeah. So a quick yes from all of you in the chat box that you are there with me. Okay, to begin the session, I would just have a quick yes from all of you in the chat box that we can begin the session. Thank you, ma'am. Divya, ma'am, thank you so much. A quick yes from everyone, each one of you, a quick yes so that we can begin the session. Vishal sir, thank you so much. Vaibhav sir, thank you so much. A quick yes from each one of you. I can see more participants now. Come on. A quick yes. I think Sumit sir is there with us. Okay. Talking about this particular session is about Excel. So if I talk about a data, when you get a data, what you all do with the data, what we all do with the data, we clean it up, correct? We analyze it through different angles. And finally, we conclude the best results from the data, or we make decisions from our data. And lastly, we present our data in form of reports. So one of the favorite tools for doing such things is Excel. And this whole training program has been designed to overcome all these things and to accomplish all these things which we are talking about is cleaning up, building up a report, and finally get the results from our data. Now, if I ask, you all have the sheets with you, correct? You must have downloaded the worksheet which we'll be working on today. A quick yes from every one of you that you have the sheets with you and you'll be practicing along. Can I have a quick yes that you all have a sheet with you and you'll be practicing along? Divya ma'am, you have to come live with me to let me know if I'm on the correct pace and you all are following the instructions and you all are practicing along. Any one of you can come live with me, Divya ma'am, Sai Kishore sir, any one of you. Sumit sir, Vaibhav sir, any one of you can come live with me. I would request an active participation from all of you to make the most of the training. So I would request one of you to come live with me, please. Divya ma'am, are you there? Mit sir, Swapnil ma'am, Vaibhav sir, any one of you can be live with me. Okay, but video is a problem with Divya ma'am and Sai sir. What about you? Can you come live with me? At least for first 15 minutes. Vaibhav sir, any one of you can come live with me. Sumit sir.
Yes, ma'am.
User 422, correct? May I have
Yes.
your name, sir?
Sorry,
May I have your name, sir?
Sumit.
Okay, Sumit sir. Okay, thank you so much, Sumit sir. Be live with me. Thank you so much. So should we begin the session, sir?
Yes.
You have the sheet with you, sir?
Yes.
Okay, you'll be practicing along with me and let me know if I am following the correct speed and you all are getting what I am telling you and you're following the instructions. Thank you so much for being
Yes.
live with me, sir.
Thank you. Welcome.
All the participants will utilize the chat box for any kind of communications, questions. Do not hesitate to ask at any point during the training. If you are not getting anything or if you're stuck with anything, if you have any doubt writing a formula, do let me know in the chat box. And if you need access to share the screen, you can do that. Okay, Sumit sir, can we start?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Let's first conclude what we'll be covering in today's session, which would be advanced basic Excel features. So first of all, we'll talk about the spreadsheet.
Okay.
Spreadsheet, building blocks of spreadsheet, I would write. We'll
Yes.
cover building blocks of a spreadsheet. Right, sir?
Yes.
After that, we'll see how we can write simple or basic formulas. What is the correct syntax? How to write a formula?
Yes.
How to write a simple formula? After that, we will see the referencing, in which we will cover absolute referencing and relative referencing. And lastly, I'll introduce you to a very strong tool of Excel, which is a table. Without wasting any more time, let us start with our first module, which is building blocks of spreadsheet. So are you a regular user of Excel, all of you, Sumit sir?
Yes. I'm using regular basis.
On regular basis,
Yes.
Yes.
all of you are using it on regular basis. So you all must be aware of all the spreadsheet building blocks like cell, rows, and columns. If
Yes.
I talk about data, what you all understand with the data and what you all understand from a term information. In Excel, what we have, data or information, or both.
Both.
All of you in the chat box. We have data, we have information, or both. Yes. So it's a both. True. We have both. Correct. Everybody knows that an Excel can organize data and organize information also. Okay, I'm writing something. You have to just tell me whether it's a data or information. Okay. My is named for Perni. What is it? It's data or information. Yes, everyone. Everyone from you, it's a data or information. No, it's raw data. Is it giving you any kind of information when you read it? My is name for beneath. No, we don't understand English this way. We need to have verbs at the correct place. We have to phrase this sentence. My name is Parneet Kaur. Now you will understand from it. Or will you work it the same way? My is name for Parneet. No, you cannot find any kind of information from this sentence. So data is something which is unorganized and information is after putting it in an organized manner, we call it information. And this is what we do with Excel. We organize the data. We put it in the form of information so that we can conclude some kind of results from our data, which is coming raw to us, which is coming unclean to us. We sanitize it and we find the results from our data. True, Sumit sir?
True.
Oh, oh, let us first start with cell, the smallest unit of a spreadsheet. I am working on a sheet, true or false? Okay, a sheet is a small part of a workbook. A workbook can have multiple sheets. If you see the sheet which you have with you have multiple sheets. The first sheet is named referencing. The next sheet is insurance data. So it all comes under a worksheet which is named as Basic to Advanced Excel Workbook. In the sheet, the smallest unit is called a cell. Now, if you understand these building blocks of spreadsheet, I can assure you, you will take no time to learn Excel. Once your concept of cell, cell addressing, row, column, horizontal, vertical are clear, you can run any formula. You have to just be strong with the basic concepts of a spreadsheet. Now, let me first ask you, how many of you know about a cell? What exactly is a cell in Excel? How many of you can tell me that current active cell, which is this particular cell? Can anybody tell me the name of this cell? Can anybody tell me the name of this cell? Anyone in the chat box? One person is saying it is J15. This particular cell. J15, who said Webber, sir? True, sir. Divya, ma'am, it's not 16J. It should be J16, ma'am. So the cell is a combination of column name and row number. First of all, you have to understand one thing. There are two things in Excel. One is this, which is the column names. And one is this, which is the row number. So the game of Excel is between these two things, the row number and the column name. The rest we'll talk about in other session. Today we'll talk about only these two things, the column names and the row numbers. Once you understand how you name a cell. Now, if I talk about this particular cell, which is active currently on my screen, which is J15, can you see a name box? He is giving you exactly you are at which cell. So you are in the JF column and you are at the row number 15. Where these two are intersecting is giving me the name of the cell. Can I rename it? Yes, I can. How? You come here and make it my cell. I'll press enter. Now, if I come here and I'll write my cell, suppose, is equal to my cell. Is he giving me where he is going? He is going correctly to the place which I named as my cell. Got it, Sumit sir?
Yes.
Correct. Now you understand what is a cell. You understand what is a column name. You understand what is a row number. Let's move ahead with vertical and horizontal arrangement. Okay. Now you have to tell me, when I'm coming down, can you see something is changing? Is the column name is changing or the row number is changing? Can you see on my screen when I'm scrolling down, what is changing? My row number or my column name? All of you, please let me know. What is changing right now in the chat box? What is changing, my row number or my column? Perfect. Your row number, not row, Divya ma'am, row number. Perfect, Weber. So thank you so much for being such active participants. Thank you. It encouraged me a lot. Thank you so much. Yes, correct, sir. It is changing. Now, see the movement. I am moving on right side now. What is changing? My column name is changing. When I'm moving vertical down, I call it vertical arrangement. When I'm moving right, it is called a horizontal arrangement. Now, why there's a need to understand vertical and horizontal arrangement? Let me give you a quick example. I'll write three numbers, 12, 13, and 10. In one cell, I've taken a number 12. I have taken adjacent cells. That means continuous data. I have not left any blank cell between the data. I'll come here. I'll write a very simple formula to add them. What I'll do equals to, I'll write 12 plus 13 plus 10. I'll press enter. Is he giving me answer? Is it the correct way to use Excel? This is how we use Excel. Now, there are only three numbers. I added them, writing manually. Suppose the data is 50,000 rows. Will you write the 50,000 numbers this way? It would be a tedious task, correct? You will use something automated, correct? Which should pick the numbers, should add them. What I'll do, I'll come here. I'll say is equal to, I'm going to write a very basic formula. How you write a formula, you always start with an equals to sign. If I will not add equal to sign, he will take it as a simple instruction or a text, and he will display it as it is on the screen. Now, I want to use sum as a formula. I will write is equal to. I'll use the formula sum. Now, you're getting the suggestions in the drop down, correct? To use that suggestion, you will hit tab. Now, what you see down are called the arguments of a function. Now, read, Sumit sir, the first argument he's asking for. Read it for me.
Number 1 and number 2.
Comma number 2. Can you tell me why number 1 is without the square brackets and the number 2 is with the square brackets?
No.
You must have used sum, sir. You said, no, you're a regular user of Excel. Anybody of you have ever noticed that some of the arguments Excel give us as it is, but some of them he wrap in the square brackets. Why is it so?
I'm just weirdly guessing, ma'am. Is it because there's a comma in between?
No, ma'am. If I write another formula, you will get a comma separator between the arguments, but you will see some of them are enclosed in the brackets and some of them are not.
Okay,
Yeah, thank you for guessing, ma'am. Yeah.
thank you.
Anybody of you? No. Okay. Let me explain. Now, sum, except there is a dot, dot, dot also at the end. If you all can notice that when I'm trying to write a formula called sum, I get a 3 dots at the end. How you see that dot? What do you mean by that? That there are many more arguments. That means you can give as many number of arguments you want to give, or as many numbers as you want to give, correct? Now let me explain why the first argument is not in the square brackets and why one argument is in the square bracket. What do you mean by square bracket? That means this argument is optional. The formula will work well without this argument also, but the argument which you see without bracket, the one without bracket, the formula is not going to work and is going to give you error. I'll write the same formula is equal to sum. I'll hit the tab. I'll try and I am not giving him any argument. I'll press enter. Can you all see what he's showing? There's a problem with this formula. Why? He said, I need an argument, but you are not giving me any argument. I'm not going to work. I'll say, okay. I'll say, okay, I'm giving you 2. Will he work according to you? A quick yes in the chat box. If no, a quick N in the chat box. Quickly. 1 minute, please. Come on. I'm waiting. Quick yes in the chat box. What will be the answer? If he's going to give me the answer, what will be the answer? Sachin sir is saying 2 is the answer, okay? There are many more participants. Not available, Vishal sir, okay? Without trying a formula, you have to give me the answer. Come on, fast. I'm waiting. 14 participants are there. Only 2 have answered. Come on, I'm waiting for all of you. Come on, please. I'm waiting. What should be the answer? So Mitsa said 2. Okay. 2 because no cells are selected or mentioned. Correct. Sachin sir, absolutely correct. Yes, my answer is going to be 2. My answer is going to be 2. And that means without the bracket, you cannot run the formula. That means an mandatory argument you always have to give. Now coming here, I will sum all these numbers which I have given in the range. Now all the numbers which are separated by a comma inside the sum function, I am giving them in a range. I'll close the bracket, I'll press enter. Got it? This is how you write a simple formula and you get the results in the correct form. Any doubt in the sum function, any one of you, if you want to practice the sum function for quantity or for the cost, you can do it. You can come here, you will write is equal to, you will write sum, close the bracket, you will select the range and you will close the bracket and you will hit enter and you will get the total orders or you will get the total quantity of your table. Yes, Sumit, so are you there with me? Sumit sir, you're not there. Sanjana ma'am, you're there with me?
Yes, yes, I'm there.
Okay, Swapnil sir, you're there with me? Sumit sir?
Yes, I'm there.
Okay, you froze. I think your screen was, yeah,
Actually, my camera automatically closes in the.
it's
That
okay.
is
I
why.
do not need your camera, but I need you live with me so that I get
Yes, yes,
you're
yes.
practicing and you're getting your answers and I'm using. Okay, is my speed fine, sir? I'm not too fast, not too slow.
No, no, it is okay.
It is
Speed is okay.
absolutely okay, sir. It is absolutely fine. Did you get the total quantity, Sumit sir? Did you try?
Yes, I got the total quantity.
Okay. Okay, I'm moving ahead now to something called referencing. Now we have two type of referencing. One is the absolute or one is the relative. One is the relative reference and one is the absolute reference. Now, what are these? Have you ever come across relative or absolute referencing, Sumit sir?
No, ma'am.
So you have never used referencing in the formulas or in Excel, sir? Okay. Okay, let me talk about relative referencing. I come here. Can you all please change it to price because quantity multiply price should be the revenue. I'm changing it to price for timing. Okay. I'll come here. I'm looking out for my revenue. Revenue is my sales, or I can say it is my sales. The other name. You come here, you color the cell. I'm looking out for the sales. Will I get my sales from quantity multiplied by price? Yes, Sumit sir?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, be live with me, unmute yourself.
Okay.
Okay, perfect, sir. I will come here and I'll put equal to y equal to because I'm going to write a simple formula, correct?
Yes, yes.
I will multiply by my quantity. Will I write 102, sir? Or should I refer a cell address?
You can go for the cell address.
Perfect.
Directly click on the cell.
Why I would use a cell address, Sumit, sir?
Because if we click on the cell address, automatically it will capture in that column.
Again,
If I
because
will sell,
correct, I got your point. Later, if I change the value, if suppose I put it 102, let's say I write the value manually, 102. Okay. I
okay,
multiply by 1500, correct?
yes,
I'll press enter, I'll get my answer.
yes,
But later somebody came and changed the value to 120.
okay,
Will my revenue get changed?
yes,
No. Why? Because I did I tell him that you have to multiply, which is somewhere in D5? Never. I just
no,
wrote 102.
okay,
I
yes,
never told the compiler, I never told Excel that you have to pick whatever it is coming in D5.
I got it.
This is why we always use a cell address when we are doing the calculations in Excel to make them dynamic. So you learn a new word called dynamic calculation.
Okay, okay,
You will never type any number manually in Excel. There are some scenarios where you type it manually, but most of the time, 90% you will refer a cell. So I will come here, I'll delete it, I'll use the formula, I'll refer a cell quantity, which is D5, correct, Sumit sir?
yes, yes,
It should be multiplied with which cell?
E5,
Perfect, sir. I will press enter.
yes,
Now,
right,
how many rows I have? I have till 13, correct? My data is still row number 13.
yes, yes,
Will I write the formula again for each and every row?
no,
I will drag it down or I'll
yes,
put a double,
yes,
correct?
yes, right,
Now, in this case, what is happening, Sumit sir? If I see, I multiply D5 into E5.
yes,
How Excel knows that next time I have to multiply D6 with E6? How we know next time I have to multiply D7 with E7?
because we have dragged this all this
So we call it,
formula.
yeah, so when we drag down and Excel used to pick the correct address in the next row, we call it relative referencing.
Okay,
That means when we set our Excel free, that you go and select the next cell, that means the next row number, we call it relative referencing.
understood.
That means every time when I'm coming down, he's changing the row number and I'm giving him permission that you change the number, it's okay. So he changed the numbers, correct?
Yes, yes, correct.
Now coming here, all of you, did you get till here? Anybody of you have a doubt till here? Any one of you have a doubt? A quick N in the chat box. If you have a doubt, a quick Y in the chat box. No, Vaibhav sir, thank you so much. Vishal sir, Sumit sir, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, we'll move ahead. Now coming to the next formula. I'll give you some kind of questions so that you can practice all these concepts. Let me just finish this topic, then I'll give you problems to solve. Okay, so Mithra, I'm going to the next one, which is I have to calculate 6% on the revenue.
Yes,
What I have to calculate, sir? 6% on the revenue. Okay, so I'll
okay,
come here. I'll select the revenue.
yes,
I multiply it with 6%. Correct, sir? I'm writing it manually.
okay,
Okay, I'll press enter.
okay,
I'll drag it down.
okay,
Now, every single row of a revenue has to be multiplied by 6, correct, sir?
yes,
That's why I manually written 6, correct, sir?
yes,
Next row, it is F6 into 6%, F7 into 6%. But later, suppose manager or HR or someone said that it's not 6%, but it is actually 16%.
okay,
You'll press enter. The calculation should be changed, correct?
yes, but
This
it is not changed.
It is not changing. Why, sir? Because I have written 6 manually.
Right,
I have to manually change it. I have to again drag the formula.
yes,
It will be a dependent on the user, correct? This calculation is dependent on the user. That means every time you have to change the number, you have to rewrite the calculation, you have to rewrite a drag down. You have to again drag down, correct, sir?
Yes.
Which is not the scenario of Excel. So what I'll do, sir, coming here, instead of writing 16% manually, I will refer it to a cell. But now what will happen? Do you think the calculation will be correct this time?
Yes.
I'll insert one more row, which is Control Shift plus. Okay. I'll do the calculation again, which we did before. I took the revenue. I multiplied it with 16%. I press enter. I will drag it down. Sorry. 16%, I'll write it manually. Correct, sir? I will write it. I will drag it down. So this was the result I was looking out for in the G column. That means this is my correct column, sir. I will color it green from the. I color it a little darker. So this is my correct calculation and this is my wrong calculation. This is my wrong calculation. Can you see?
Yes.
Can anyone answer me why the calculation is coming wrong? Where we are wrong? When I manually entered 16% and multiplied with revenue, I'm getting correct result, the desired result. But when I'm referring it to the cell, I'm getting incorrect result. Can anyone from the audience, from the participants, can anyone answer that where we are wrong, where we have to correct the calculations? You must have done such things, Sumit sir, in Excel, or you have never done anything like this before.
No, we have done, but I don't know how this calculation is going wrong.
Okay. Any one of you in the chat box if you want to answer? I would request an active participation from all of you, please. Otherwise, the class will be very boring for all of you and for me also. In the chat box, if you know the answer, it's okay. Any one of you. Have you ever come across such error? Because you all a regular user. 16 is taken as value instead of selection of the cell value. 16 is taken as a value instead of selection of the cell value. No, ma'am. I told him that whatever it is in the G4, you have to take it. Okay. Okay. Any one of you, I will again add one more column. Okay. And I will clear the format from these columns. How you clear the format? In the home tab, you have an option called clear. Can you see this eraser? Can you all see this eraser?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you have, yeah. So you have the option, you come here, if you want to clear the formats, you come here and you hit the option clear formats. That means he will only delete the formatting on the selected cells. That means the coloring, the border, the font color, that would be erased. Okay. Now coming here, if I say, Sumit sir, just let me know what this calculation is. It is F5 into G4, correct, sir?
Yes.
F5
F5 into G.
into G4.
Yes.
Okay, in the next cell, it should be F6 multiplied by G4, correct, sir?
4. Yes.
I'll come down. It should be F7 into G4, correct?
Yes. Yes.
I have to come down again. It should be F8 into G4. Okay, this is what we are expecting. And let's see what Excel is doing. I'll come here. Can you tell me what is written here? And what is written here? Are both same? So, Mixer, they are both same? F5.
Yes, F5 into G4. They are both
So
same.
this calculation is correct. 28,800 is correct. Correct?
Yes. Right.
Okay. Now I'll come to next. What he is saying,
F6 into G5, he said.
What we want
F6 into G4.
is he correct?
No.
We have to make him correct, correct?
Yes, yes.
So what is he doing? Can anybody now answer what is he doing now? What I told you earlier, you have to just see my cursor. Nothing else you have to see. Just see my cursor. What is happening? When I'm dragging down, what tends to change? The row number? Yes or no?
Yes, row numbers change.
So from G4, he is becoming G5. He's becoming G6. He's becoming G7. I have to stop him, right?
Yes.
I have to stop him that if it is 4, please be 4. Do not change it to 5. So I add a dollar sign before the number to lock it. What I add? A dollar sign. Correct? Or if not the dollar sign, press the function key and the F4. Function and F4. This is a shortcut to lock a particular cell. To freeze a particular cell, we use the option function F4. I'll press enter. I'm writing what you have to press. You have to press function plus F4. And on some keyboards, it is only F4. And if both are not working, you can manually add a dollar sign before the number and before the column name. Now, Sumit sir, I'm dragging it down. Are both the calculations same?
Yes.
Now, one calculation I'm naming as option A. Okay, sir? And
Yes.
one calculation I'm taking option B, sir. Yes, sir? Now I'm changing that HR said that it's not 16% per need, it was 21%. I'll press enter. Which option changed? Option A or option B?
Option A.
Why option B is not changed? Because 16% was manually written by us. So you will always go with the cell referencing. And if something comes up where you have to freeze the cell, you will use a dollar sign. We call it absolute reference. What we call it? Absolute referencing. Anybody, any doubt in relative referencing? Yeah, you're getting it because you are doing in somebody's supervision, but once you'll try it alone, you'll tend to forget it. No, ma'am. For the next, we have the training till 12th of January, then we, ma'am. I'll make you practice that you will by heart all these formulas, or you'll by heart how to write the formula in a correct syntax. I'll make you very comfortable with the referencing, ma'am. This is just the beginning of the session. That's why I'll give you time to practice. I'll give you more exercises so that you get, the formulas on the correct place. If you're alone, also you can write the formula. Only thing is, ma'am, you have to pay attention to referencing and the cell address. Writing a formula, giving arguments for the formula is not tough at all. If you understand the basic concepts, then ma'am, you're good to go. You can learn any formula.
Noted, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Tanveen. Okay. Should I give you something so that you can all practice? I will delete everything. How? I will go to clear. I will say clear all. Delete it. Delete it. I will say clear all. Okay. Now, I am doing this merge and center. You know all the formatting options, no, Sumit sir? Or should I explain the formatting options and the ribbon also?
Ma'am, please explain.
Okay, perfect. Now, if you see referencing has taken in the leftmost cell, correct? But all this data, if I see, All this data, if I see, is under referencing. So what I'll do, sir, I'll select where I want to place the referencing. I will hit the option called merge and center. I will give the background color. Okay, sir. Selecting it, if you want to give the border, in the home tab, you have options of borders and you can give the border. I'm giving the thick border. The first row of my data, I'm highlighting that row with another color and I'm highlighting my data with some other color. The same way you can also try these options. Sorry. Okay, I'm giving the all borders to my data and I'm giving a thick border to my headers. Or the first top row, I'm giving the thick border. I will delete this part. Now, what you all have to do, you have to calculate a column called revenue. I'll clear this part also. I will only clear the contents. I'm giving you 5 minutes to calculate the column revenue the way I have taught. I'm giving you all 5 minutes to calculate the column revenue, which is nothing but quantity multiplied by price. The revenue is nothing but the quantity multiply the revenue. Price. Which is going to be your formula for revenue. Once you are done, a quick yes in the chat box that we can move ahead. I'm giving you 5 minutes, do the calculations. Thank you, Sachin. So thank you so much. Thank you, Vishal. So I'm waiting for rest. Thank you, Taneem. I'm giving you another 2 minutes to format your data, giving beautiful colors. All the formatting options you can try from the home tab. Okay, can we move ahead, Sumit sir?
Yes.
What we did, we just multiply the quantity with the price. I press enter. I come here. I delete this part. Okay, coming here, I want to give 6% commission. I want to give 12% commission. And I want to give 13%. Let's say. Can you first calculate 6% on revenue? Once you are done, a quick Y in the chat box. You have to do 6%. I'm leaving it to you. What method you are choosing? You're manually writing 6%. You're using a cell addressing or using absolute referencing. I'm leaving it to you. Okay, Sachin, so thank you so much. Okay, you'll come here. Perfect, Sanjana ma'am. Thank you so much. So which version of Excel you people are using? It's 365 or the lower version?
I think so. Lower version, ma'am.
2019 it must be then.
We have to check.
Um, okay, you will check. I'll make you check. It's okay. In the file tab, you can go on the account and you can see it here. Which version of Excel you are using. Okay. Now, one question from all of you. Now you know absolute referencing. You logged the cell, correct? You wrote the formula for 6%. You all must have written that you have selected revenue. You multiplied it with this cell, enter, and you logged it, correct? By pressing function and F4. Enter, and you got your calculation in the right place. Now, if I say I have to calculate for 12% also, for 13% also, will I write the same thing again for 12%? Which version can we use?
I think it's 21. It says
365, ma'am. Perfect,
yes,
ma'am. So I
yes.
can teach you, yeah. So I can teach you the advanced features of 365, which we doesn't get in the lower versions, ma'am. Thank you so much,
Okay.
ma'am, for sharing. Okay. So one question to all of you that I calculated something 6% on revenue. The same I have to do for 12% and 13%. Will I do it one more time, or should I write this particular cell in such a way that if I expand it to right, I expand it down, I should get the correct results? What do you all think? Which way would you choose? You will write it one more time, two more times, or you will go somewhere like you will alter the formula in the cell G5 so that you get the correct answers in the corresponding columns. Yes, sir. Convenient, can you be live with me for some time?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank
Actually,
you so much.
I'm dumb in this, so I'm not confident.
No,
I
it's
would
okay.
just
It's
like to
perfectly
watch.
fine. There is nothing called silly, ma'am. In Excel, everything is silly. It's okay, ma'am. Be live with me for some time.
Okay.
You got it till here, ma'am. Any doubt till here?
No, I got it.
Speed is okay.
Yes, yes.
You're getting your understanding.
Uh-huh. Yes.
It's not too fast. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, Tanveen ma'am, what you say? Should I write it one more time for 12% and 13%, or should we use some other way that I write the formula once, I drag it right, I drag it down, I should get the result?
Dragging is a better option because while we are making reports, we don't have time. So
So,
there should be a way wherein you just feed in something because it's AI, so it has to know what I need and I just drag it
correct.
and it's through.
And one more thing, here I have only 3 percentages, correct?
Right.
Later on, if I have, suppose 20 percentage I have to give, that means 20 adjacent columns have the different percentage. Will I write the
Right.
formula 20 times? No.
No,
I-
exactly. Yes.
Correct? Now,
Yes,
only
correct.
one thing that we have to figure out how to lock, where to lock, what to lock. Correct?
Okay. Yes.
There
Right.
are there are only two movements, ma'am, horizontal and vertical.
Okay.
Moving to right, moving down.
Mm-hmm.
Less time when you move left or move up. Correct? We mostly work down and work right.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, that's a tendency.
Correct? Now
Yes.
coming here, you have to just tell me formula for this cell, ma'am. Only for one cell. It should be F5, ma'am,
Yes.
and multiplied by
Uh,
I will not write the
multiplied
formula. Okay,
F5.
F5, yes,
Yeah.
ma'am,
F5
multiply by
multiplied by
this cell,
D.
ma'am. H4, correct?
Yes. Okay. H4. Okay.
You will get the name here only.
Uh-huh. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Correct. You have to multiply it with H. Correct, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. Now
Okay.
this cell, ma'am. Again, I want F5.
F5 and I4.
Perfect,
Sorry,
ma'am.
I
Yes.
I4. Yes, I4. Yeah.
Correct, ma'am. You get it right. Okay. Now let's see, ma'am. Coming to this, where we wrote the actual formula.
Uh-huh.
Okay, ma'am, I'm not locking anything for timing. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now, which direction I'm sorting out, ma'am? Only the right. That means the horizontal direction I'm sorting for the time.
Yes.
In the horizontal direction, what tends to change, ma'am? Row
The
number or column name?
column name.
Correct, ma'am. True. Perfect. How many columns are involved? Only F and G. Correct, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. Next time when I'll drag the formula to right, only F and G will change, ma'am. 5 and 4 are not going to change, correct? Because I'm moving
Yes.
right.
Yes, correct. Yes,
From
right.
F, if I drag right, F will become G and G will become H.
From right, please come again. From right.
Yeah, let me just again repeat. You have a formula F5 into G4, correct?
Yes.
The time I'll move right, the F will turn to G and
G,
G.
correct. Yes. Yes,
Correct.
yes, yes. Yes.
Now, if you see the formula written in the cell H5, F5 into H4,
F5 into H4. Yes.
correct?
In column
Why?
H.
Yeah. So can I say that my F should not get changed for any of the formula on the right side?
F remains the same. No, then the rows
Correct.
will.
Yeah, F remains.
Yeah.
Only think about the columns. Forget the rows.
Okay. 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 Okay.
My F is every time in all the three cells, the formula is with F5, F5, and F5. Correct, ma'am?
Yes, correct.
I will lock F.
Okay.
Get it, ma'am?
Yes, yes, yes.
Now, in every cell, now you see, the formula is GHI.
Correct.
I cannot lock G. Why? Because if I lock it, it will become GGG.
Correct, correct,
I'll
correct.
set it free. Correct, ma'am?
Okay, okay.
I'll press enter. I'll drag it to right because right is sorted.
Okay.
Only down thing is not sorted yet because I have not paid attention to my row numbers. Correct, ma'am?
Right. Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Come here now. If I go to the next row, ma'am, it should become F6, correct?
F6, yes. Correct.
If I go to the next row, F5 should become F6, then F7, then F8, then F9 for all the cells.
Yes.
So I need not to lock my number 5. Correct, ma'am?
Correct.
Now the other number is this 4, ma'am. Now, can I say all my percentages, which is 6%, 12%, or 13%, they are lying in row number 4 always?
Yes.
I need to lock them, ma'am.
Okay.
I'll press OK. Now,
That takes care of the row.
yeah, that is.
Okay. Okay. Magic.
You get it?
Yes, it's magic.
Is it difficult?
No.
It's not at all difficult. If you understand this, ma'am, I can assure you, ma'am, I bet you will understand Excel like a very smooth journey you're going to have in Excel.
I hope to. But
You
yeah,
will
this makes sense. Yeah.
all of you get it. Please let me know in the chat box if you get the referencing. It is a two-way referencing, which is you took care of your rows and you took care of your columns also. If you want me to repeat it one more time, I will. And I'll go much more easier way this time if you want, all of you. If yes, a quick yes in the chat box, please, that you get it and I can move ahead. See, they're not answering also. Okay, Sachin sir got it. Can you repeat again? Yes, yes, sir. Yes, Sumit sir, I will repeat it again. Okay. Do you know all the shortcut key to add rows and columns is Control Shift Plus? Okay. What I'm doing is I'm writing the formula, okay, for the first three cells. My formula should be what? It should be this cell multiplied by this cell, which is your F5 multiplied by G4. I'll write it. It has to be F5 multiplied by G4. It should be F5 multiplied by H4. It has to be F5 multiplied by I4. In the next row, the formula should be F6 multiplied by G4. It has to be F6 multiplied by H4. It has to be F6 multiplied by I5. Okay, I'm deleting it. I'm going to clear the contents one. I'll come here. Now see it carefully. What my first formula is, I have to pick F5 and I have to multiply it with, sorry, I have to multiply it with G. I'll press enter. Now refer to these formulas which I have written for you. Okay. Now, if you see in the next cell, F5 should change to, should it change to G5? It is all F, F, F. If you see the cells on the right has to have F, F. So I need to lock my F. Now, if I go to my G, H, and I, one more thing, when you are moving on the right side, you only have to make a check on your column names. You need not to worry about your row numbers. You only have to worry about your column names. I'm repeating one more time. When you're dragging your formula on the right side, you always have to worry about your column names. But when you're working on the rows, you have to worry about your row numbers. Now I am only considering my columns. That means I am concerned about my movement on the right side. I'm paying attention on my column names, which is F and G. Now F has to be fixed for the rest of the calculations. So I'm locking my F by putting a dollar sign before it. And coming to G, if I see the formula has G, H, I, that means I have to set him free. I cannot lock it. If I lock it, all the calculations will take G4 as a number. So I will set it free. Now coming to the row numbers, you have to come to the next row for the calculation. That means F5 is turning to F6. That means, do I need to lock my 5? No, because I have to set him free that so that he can turn 6 next time. And coming to this 4, if you see, for throughout the calculation, it is G4, 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 H4, 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 I4, I4, I4. So that means I have to lock my 4. I hit enter. I'll drag the formula to right because this, I'll drag the formula down. It has to be I4, I'm so sorry. Now, any one of you still have a doubt? User 533, who he is, I don't know. What's your name, sir? Got it, sir? Thank you so much. Okay. Okay, Sonali ma'am, thank you so much. Okay, coming to simple formulas, which we have here. Now, the next thing is, or you can practice this also yourself. I'm giving you 5 minutes to get these calculations done. And then I'll tell you a very quick and easy way of doing it if you are using a 365 suite of Excel. 5 minutes to all of you to finish this calculation. And tally the results. If you're getting a different result, do let me know. You can share your screen also. We'll figure out together. Can we move ahead then, ma'am? Are you all done with the calculations? Done. Okay. Okay. The next thing which we are going to do is the auto sum. Now, what is an auto sum? Auto sum is I want to add a total row to my data. That means I want to add a column vertically. That means I want to add all these figures at once. I want to add these figures down and I want to make something called total row down my data. How would I do it? There are multiple ways of doing it. One way is you come here and use the formula called sum. You'll come here and you will select the range and you will press enter. You will this sign and you will drag the calculation to right. One way is this. Other way is suppose I am not going this way. One simple way is using a shortcut which is Alt equal to. What is it? Alt equal to. You select the range and you hit Alt equal to. Now, what is happening here in Alt equal to? If you see, he added this 0.06 also in it. So sometimes you doesn't want these to get added, then you have to manually use your sum function. Now, the drawback is this value also get added to these values because Alt equal to does what, or you have to manually change it to G5. And you have to hit enter. And you have to drag the calculation on the right to make it right on the right side also. Another option is you can select and you can hit the auto sum option from the tab of home. Also, you have an option called auto sum. Got it? Again, the problem is what he has taken the range as G4, which is a problem. If you have a value as the top row, he's going to add all the numeric values. So you have to manually come here and change the range. This kind of scenario works well when you have the data for January, February, and March, and you want the concatenate, that means aggregated row at the bottom. This formula works well. The shortcut key is Alt equal to. Alt and plus and equal to. It's the shortcut key to auto sum. Okay. Now coming to the data types. Data type is if you want to see your data in certain formats. Let's say I want to see my figures in comma separated forms. What you'll do, you'll select the data. You'll go to Home tab. You have an option called comma down here. So you'll put it. This is you have changed the data type from general to accounting. Yes, Tanveen ma'am, any doubt? Can you unmute yourself and let me know?
Yes, ma'am, getting it.
Getting it, no? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Tanveen ma'am, do you know the formula? Can you calculate the total for me? Is equal to, you will help me calculating the
Yeah,
total.
yes, sure. Is equal to open bracket,
Yes, ma'am. Which
but
formula
which
I will use?
uh open bracket,
Sum, open
sum,
bracket.
close,
Correct.
yeah, sorry, open
I want
bracket.
to, yes, I want to find the total revenue for all the products.
Okay, so from F5
Perfect, ma'am.
to F13
Correct, ma'am.
and close bracket and hit enter.
Okay. What will I do next, ma'am? Will I leave the value this way or I will format it?
Now, if you want, we can go for that comma style
Okay.
tab.
If I want to put a rupee before it, have you ever tried, ma'am, putting a rupee sign before it?
No,
Okay.
I haven't.
So, ma'am, you have to come to these settings in the home tab.
Okay.
In the ribbon, you have an option called more number formats.
Okay.
You have to come to accounting, ma'am.
Okay.
What you have to do in the home tab, you have to select more formats and you have to come to which type
Accounting.
accounting. And in the symbols, can you see rupee
Yes.
and the decimal places? And he is giving me that your output will look something like this in the sample.
Okay.
This is the output.
Okay.
Correct, ma'am? I'll press OK, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, we got it
Okay.
with rupee. Yeah.
Now, in the next formula, I want to find the minimum revenue out of the given data.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'll use the formula, ma'am, there's a mathematical formula called min.
Okay.
To use a formula, you always hit a tab. When you get suggestions in a form of a drop down to select that particular formula, you will hit the option tab from your keyboard.
Okay.
And you will select a range from where you are looking out for minimum value.
Okay.
Correct, ma'am? You will
Yes.
close the bracket
Okay.
and you
Again,
will
hit
hit.
enter. Okay.
Now, what you can do, ma'am, instead of going to formatting again, what you can do, you can use an option called Format Painter, ma'am. You
Yes.
select the
I know
cell.
about that.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes.
You,
Yes.
you are
Oh, okay.
correct. So the same
Yes.
formatting will be applied to minimum. All of
Okay.
you, Tanveen ma'am, you also try the maximum yourself this time.
Maximum. Okay.
You will come here is equal to, what do you think? What should be the name of the formula? If the minimum has min, the maximum has,
Max.
I'll hit the tab.
Yeah,
Again,
max.
Tanveen ma'am, the number one is without square bracket and number two is with square bracket. That means maximum works with one argument also.
Okay.
It will work with one value also. If I'll give him one, he will give maximum of one is one.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Okay. Now, if you have range of numbers, you will give him the range of numbers from which you are looking out for the maximum value.
Okay.
You'll close the bracket, you will hit enter.
Yeah. Okay.
You will select the format page
Format painter. Yeah.
format. Now, what do you mean by average? What is the formula for average? Average is nothing but you sum all the values and you divide it by the number of values. Is
Right.
equal to average. Now, people get confused that if minimum has a formula min, maximum has max, average will also have AVG. It's not. For average, you have to write complete average.
Okay.
And whose average you are looking out for? Your revenue. Let's see. I'll close the bracket. I'll press enter.
Hmm.
And again, you will select any value. You will select the format painter and you.
Okay.
So good so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You're getting your answers?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now coming to the second smallest value. I am not interested in the minimum value, but I am interested in the kth minimum value. It's something like who got first rank in class, who got second rank, who got third rank, who got fourth highest, who got fifth highest. This is used for that purpose.
Yeah. So what does Kate stand for?
Kth.
Like any specific?
And any K can be anything. I am looking out for third highest, I'm looking out for fourth highest, I'm looking out for fifth highest. So K ranges from 1, 2, 3 up to so on.
Okay.
Correct?
Okay.
How to use this formula? If I'm looking out for smallest value, the formula is small.
Okay.
Can you read? The new
Yeah.
term is there in front of you, which is array.
Mm-hmm.
I will close the formula. I will first explain what is an array. Array is range only, range of numbers. Array is nothing but range of numbers is equal to small. Now, where are the numbers from where you're looking at the second smallest value? Suppose
From the revenue itself?
from the revenue itself. So all these numbers, when you place together, they becomes an array. Range is range. When you select multiple numbers or the collection of numbers itself is called an array. Comma. Now K is asking for a value. Which smallest value you're looking out for? I say 2, second smallest value. I'll close the bracket, I'll press enter.
Okay.
Now, if I run the formula, Tanveen ma'am, I will write small again. I will select the value again. If I write 1, which value, ma'am, I'm going to get?
The first smallest value.
That means the minimum.
Yes.
Is it correct, ma'am? See, the minimum.
Yes, correct, correct.
I'll do the format painter. How to format this, ma'am? Coming to the format option in the home tab, you have auto fit column width.
Oh, okay.
Now I'll format painter and I'll format this particular second one. Now I
Okay.
want all of you to try the large function. Similarly, the way we found that the second smallest value, I want all of you to find the second largest value using the function large.
Okay. So, I think it should be 4.
Array would be,
Sorry, array would be the column that we need to select,
yeah,
comma, and then 4,
correct. You close the bracket
close bracket, and hit, yeah.
and you have to format the number using format.
Okay.
If I use the large formula,
Then the maximum, yeah.
yeah, and I put the K as 1, that means the first maximum value,
Yes.
it has to be the same.
Tallied, yes.
And I come. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, one more interesting thing which I'm going to cover is the range
Okay.
and the table now. I'll introduce the table. Suppose, ma'am, I come in the filled cell. Filled cell means which have something in it, which is not empty, which is not blank.
Mhm.
I'll do control A, ma'am. What he did?
Selected everything, like the whole column, a whole table. Sorry.
No, ma'am, it's still not a table. It's a raw data. Still, it's a raw data. But what he did, why he did not select the part where referencing is written or why he did not select where formulas have been
Yeah,
calculated?
that was my question to you next, actually.
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask you that.
Okay. So what is he doing? He is going on the left side. The time he encounter any blank column or blank cell, he is breaking. That means he stops.
Oh, okay.
Similarly, he is going up. The time he is getting a blank row, he stops.
Okay,
So
yes.
he's defining his range by looking at the blank cells.
Okay.
So if I come here to any blank cell, suppose I'll press Control A. Can you see what is he doing now? Now, if I come down on any blank cell and I press Control A, whole sheet will be selected.
Okay.
So if you want only the part of the data, which is a field you want to select, you'll come to the filled part and you'll press Control A. And you can alter your selection by dragging it up and down. But still, it is not your table. It is still your data.
Okay.
Table is something else. It is still a data in which product, year, quantity, price, revenue. This is still a data for him, but we are considering it as a row, which gives us information that what has been stored under this particular name. For us, they are headers. For him, it is just a row, like any other row. Clear, Tanveen ma'am?
Noted, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Now, moving ahead, I would first, still here, ma'am, it's clear, no?
Yes.
Everything, referencing. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
I would like all to come on the sheet insurance data, which is the next sheet. Can you please format it a bit? That means, can you please make it a header row and color it, format it? I'm
Okay.
giving 5 minutes to format your sheets, beautify it, give the colors, formats, and anything. Give it. Uh, Sanjana ma'am, you are with us? Tejas, sir, you are there with us? Divya ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Divya ma'am, you are there with us?
Yes, yes.
Can you be live with me for next 30 minutes till we end the session?
No, I just want the video, but I'm not sure you can able to view my page.
No, you just unmute yourself. I do not need your video, ma'am. It's okay.
Okay. Okay.
Perfect, ma'am. Thank you, Tanveen ma'am, for being there with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, Divya ma'am, any doubt in here? Did you try
Just
did you try the formula? Did you try doing it? Did you practice?
yes, I'm practicing, but I'm maintaining this data.
Okay, okay. But you got all the formulas we did on the first sheet, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
You got the referencing.
No, I'm just trying the total, minimum, maximum, average, and all things. But
I'm giving you another 5 minutes, ma'am. Just complete it. It's okay.
okay.
I do not want to run, ma'am. You finished it. Tejas, sir, any doubts so far? A quick yes in the chat box, Sachin sir, Sanjana ma'am. Anyone, if you have any doubt, please do not hesitate. You can ask, unmute yourself and ask your doubts. It's okay. Okay, thank you, Tejas sir. Thank you for replying. Do let me know, Sanjana ma'am, when you are done, Divya ma'am, when you are done. Can we go ahead, Divya ma'am? Or you're still doing it, ma'am? You need another 5 minutes to do it. You're done? Sanjana ma'am? Yes, Sanjana ma'am, I'm waiting for you.
Done.
Okay. Divya ma'am, can you come live with me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next, we are going to learn about the tool called table. Till now, we were working with cells, ma'am, correct?
Yes.
One more thing, I think, ma'am, you are also sitting on Microsoft 365, correct?
I didn't check it, ma'am.
Okay, those who are sitting on 365, I'm going to tell you a spill range option also here. I'm just going to clear the context here and I'm going to calculate using the spill range. Instead of writing the formula and paying attention to locking, can you unlock the unmute the ma'am? Okay, what I'll do is I am going to select the range. I selected the range. Instead of selecting a particular cell, I selected a range. I put a multiple sign. Again, I selected a range. I'll hit enter. I'm doing it one more time. It is only a feature of 365. Those who are sitting on 365, for them this will work, but those who are sitting on the lower version, this will not work for them. What you have to do, you have to select the range. You have to multiply, you have to select the range you have to multiply with, and you have to hit enter. So it will fill what you selected, how many values you selected, multiply by how many values, he will fill those many values. Try it if you're sitting on 365, just try it. What you have to do, you have to select the range, you have to multiply, and you have to select the range on this slide also. And you will hit enter, and you will get your answer. Okay. Now moving ahead with the table 2. Now, first of all, let's see why we need a table. What are the features of a table 2? First of all, how you make it, how you change or how you convert your data into table. It's simple. How you convert your data into table, you can use a shortcut key also, and you can use the option from the tab. In the ribbon, you have the option under the insert. You have an option called table. First of all, you have to give him the range who you want to convert as a table. Now, if I come here, I select any of the filled cell, I hit Control A. The shortcut key is Control T. You will get a dialog box or a message box, which will ask you where is the data for your table. And one checkbox is there, my table has header. Suppose I say my table doesn't have headers, which is not the case because my first row is my header, correct? But if I uncheck it and I say my table doesn't have headers, I'll press OK. He will create his own headers, which is not the case. I'll again do Control T. This time I will say my table has headers. That means we will make the first row as header. Tanveen ma'am, now it is the information. Now you can call it as a table.
Okay.
Now it is a table. On the earlier sheet, the reference is still a data.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. Now,
Yes.
what are the features? Now, what are the features of this table is the first thing is absolute referencing.
Okay.
What do you mean by absolute referencing means the first thing is I do not need to refer it every time. Now, first of all, anybody can ask you a question, how do you know it is a table? If I see referencing also has formatting, also has a highlighted first row, they both look similar. As the Neen ma'am also doubted it with a table. How do you make sure that one is a data and one is a table? If I come here, Neen ma'am, I'm asking you one question. I select, correct? You go to the tab, ma'am. What is the last option you can see here?
Power pivot.
Correct, ma'am. I'll escape. Now I'll go to the insurance data, ma'am. I'll select any of the filled cell. Now see the last option, ma'am.
Table design. Okay.
This is going to tell you whether the selected cell comes under your table or not.
Okay.
If I select any cell outside my range of a table, you will not get that option. Only that option is the way to tell you whether you are in a table or in a data of a sheet.
So how do I make a table manually? Like,
Yeah,
if
I'll again do that.
Okay.
Okay, this is a data, ma'am. Now you are not getting that table option if you see in the ribbon.
Yes, I understood this point. Like, Control T,
Yeah, Control
you
A
select.
and Control T.
Control A, Control T, yes. But otherwise, if I'm just manually working on something,
Yeah.
so that is not considered to be table, but still I
No.
can filter things and I can still get data.
I'm telling you the difference now. Now only you will get the difference.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, ma'am? Okay. So I made it a table, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now what options, ma'am, you are getting in the ribbon? Are these options very different from what you have? Can you see all these options, ma'am?
Yes.
These options you will not get in the referencing sheet because it's not a table. This slicer, this header row, this total row, banded rows, first column, last column, all these things are not available if you doesn't turn your data into your table. This is only the limited feature. There are many more. Now, first thing is, suppose I say
Mm-hmm.
it has absolute reference. Okay, ma'am? Anytime when I was asking you, ma'am, give me address of the cell, you have to pay attention to column name, you had to pay attention to the row number, then you was selecting that particular cell, correct, ma'am?
Yes.
Now in a table, he has given me a privilege to name it according to my need. I make it insurance data, or I can call it my data. I'll press enter. I give a name to my table. Correct, ma'am?
Yes.
Now I add one more sheet, ma'am. I'll insert one more sheet, ma'am. I'll insert a worksheet. I come here, ma'am. I just press is equal to my data. Can you see, ma'am?
Yes. Whoa. Okay.
Did you copy? Did you paste it? No.
Whoa.
You referred it, correct?
Right.
Who gave you that privilege to refer it? Only table gives.
Okay.
One more thing is there, which is a range, which I'll teach in tomorrow's session. Okay. For the timing, we are working on the tables. What more is there? Easy format. Before I change it to a table, did you see any color on the data? No. The time I change it to a table, I get easily formatted headers, I get easily formatted banded rows, I get colors. He beautified my data, correct? In an organized form. Who did it? The control T did it. That means the table 2 itself did it.
Right.
Now, the fourth thing is automated expansions. What do you mean by automated expansions is the time I add something in my data. Suppose I want to add something called my incremented asset value. NAV, my incremented NAV. Okay. What he did, he automatically included my newly added column in the table itself. Did you see the time I added a new column or tried to create a new column, he expanded the selection and he automatically included that in the table. But this is not the case when you are added a calculated column, leaving one row between. That means not adjacent. That means coming here, I add something called a calculated column, suppose. I'll press enter. Did he include that in the table? No. Why? Because there is a blank row in between. The data has to be adjacent if you want to include that in the table. Coming here, if I create a calculated column 2, I'll press enter, he'll include. Are you getting convenient what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Coming to the fifth feature is adding a total row. For the timing, I do not want these extra columns. Okay, I will select the table design. I get these options of total rows, first column, total row, last row, banded columns. I'll select a total row. What he'll do at the end, he will give me a summarized view of the data. Can you see? I get a total row at the end, and he is giving me pre-generated calculations also. If I click on the drop down, what I want to see, though there's a text in my column, I can only do the count. The time I will use the option average, I will get not available. Or I'll get the error. Why? Because there's a text in the data, and on the text, you cannot perform arithmetic operations. I'll use the count. Coming here, it is my numeric data. I can calculate the average. I can calculate mean. I can calculate max. I can calculate the count. I can calculate standard deviation, which is already available, pre-generated calculation.
So we don't have to select sum or anything.
No, nothing. They are pre-written calculations. Which is it is a part of a table too. If it's just the data, then you have to calculate based on what you need. Got it? Now there's one more option called banded rows, banded columns, banded last column. That means he will make the last column bold and first column bold. If you want to change the style, you can just come here and you can select the multiple styles. See. Can you see? Every style has a name. I do table style light 2. That means it falls under family light, and the name of the format is ICE. Correct. Now the next option that we have in the table design is insert slicer. What is insert slicer? Every time, suppose I have a data, this data. I'll press Control Shift L. What it does, it makes my first row as a filter, correct?
Right.
But when I converted my data into table, did he ask me that who should I make a filter? He himself made a filter. Did he took approval from me that do you want to make filter? No. Every time if I have to filter, that means automatic filters are added in the table too. Automatic filters. But anytime if you feel that you doesn't want filters, you can come here and you can close the filter.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes.
Okay. And the last option is slice. Now I want to filter the data, not from here, which is the formula-based filter. Every time I have to hit the option. That means every time I have to dig inside the data, I have to apply the filter, correct? I doesn't want to complicate the user for such filters. I want to give something visual filters from where he select and he get the data. How you can do that? In a table design, you have an option called insert slicer. In this option, he will give you all the column names. You have transaction type, you have city type, you have units, you have net asset value, you have online. Suppose I want to filter out my data only on the base of, suppose I want to select a particular transaction type. I will add it as a slicer. I will select only bonus. Can you see my data has been filtered out based on bonus? If I want to close the filter, I will just come here and I will press this. Now to adjust this filter, if you want to beautify the filter, you will get an extra option in the extra tab as slicer. In this ribbon, you will get all the relevant options regarding your slicer. Now, what options we are getting is number of columns. If you see, I have only one column, but I want to divide it into 3 columns. So I will increase 3 columns. I will adjust the size. If I want to make 4 columns, I can. And accordingly, I can adjust the size. You can increase the height. You can decrease and increase the width. If you want to select multiple filters, suppose I want SIP. I'll hit the control button. That means I press control button and I'll select next. That means my data has been filtered for SIP and bonus. If you want to come and see, can you see bonus has been selected from the filter and SIP has been selected? That means 2 filters are acting on your table. Would you try all till here, converting your data into table, try automated expansions, try different formatting options, add slicer to your table and try to slice your data based on the filter selected. I'm giving you 5 minutes to try it. Sonali ma'am, what did not happen? Can I have you online, Sonali ma'am? Sonali ma'am, you're there with us? Anybody, any doubt so far?
Hello. Yes, I'm online.
Yes, Sonali ma'am, what did not happen? I just saw your message, ma'am. I'm so sorry, I missed your message.
So it was a previous message, like it was into referencing, which you were saying that the
Okay, it
Excel
happened, ma'am.
sheet.
Did you
Yeah,
try it?
yeah, it happened.
It happened, no? Okay, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, ma'am. I'm so sorry, I missed your message.
No problem. No problem.
Okay. Anybody, anyone, any doubt so far in the first sheet, in the second sheet? If everybody is done till here, a quick yes in the chat box. That you are done. Yes, ma'am. Okay, Sanjana ma'am done. Sumit sir done. Web-ups are done. Thank you so much for replying. Thank you. Tejas sir, thank you. Okay, Tanveen ma'am. Okay, let's move ahead. Now, I would like all of you to try something. Come to the table design, just delete that total row. I want all of you to come down to the table and just add a row. Update your table with 2 rows. Any 2 rows. Let me just copy this and add 2 rows. I'll change the figures. From old, I'll make it new. Okay, and from the figure, I'll make it 3000. I want you to add new rows to your table. What it did, it changed the referencing, correct? That means the new row which we added has been included in my table. How to know that whether he has added that row or not? What I'll do, I'll refer this table somewhere on the sheet, on the different sheet. I'll come here. I'll write is equal to my data. I'll press enter. Now, will you see that row down? Can you all see that row which I added? That means my referencing of table has been changed. How to manually alter the referencing of your table? How would you do that? You'll come to your table or anywhere on your sheet and you will hit a shortcut key Control F3. Let's see if it's working. In my case, it's not working. See in your case if it is working. Control F3. Tanveen ma'am, do you please try Control F3 if it's giving you a pop-up button for Control F3. Otherwise, what you can do, you can come
F3.
Control F3, yeah. No, it's not working, no?
No, it's
Okay.
not.
What you can do in the tabs, you can come to the formula tab. You can select the option called Name Manager. In the Name Manager, you have all the ranges and the name of the tables which you have created on this notebook. Now, what I created was my data. If I want to edit it, can you see if you want to change or if you want to change the string, then you can alter. What you have to do, ma'am, you have to come the option called formulas, select the option called name manager, and here you have your range and you can edit. If I change it to insurance data, let's see. Okay, and I'll press OK. Now the name has been changed to insurance data. And the name of the table has become insurance data. Why? Because I changed it to insurance data. Now, if I from the table, I again go back to range. That means again, I want to convert it to a range. How will you do that? Will you hit Control T again? No. What you'll do, you'll come to table design. You have an option called convert to range. You will hit this option and your table will again go back to, yes, he will give you a pop-up asking, do you want to convert the table to a normal range? Yes. Now you will not see that option of table design in the tab. It is a normal range. It is a normal data now. Did you try it and now converting it to a range? No longer you will get the tab called table design. It is again go back to your data. Yes, Tanveen ma'am, did you try converting it to a range again?
No, ma'am, it didn't happen. I'll try again.
Yeah, you have to select, you have to go to table design. Yeah, you have to go to table design. You have to select the option called convert to range. What this option does, it converts your table into a normal range of cells. And then once you convert it to a range, you will no longer can use the features of a table. All of you so far, have you tried? Have you tried converting your table into a range? Let me know in the chat box. All of you, please try converting your table into a range. Many times you will come across that you need not a table, but you have to convert it to a range to make many formulas work or perform better. Thank you, Vishal sir. Thank you so much, sir. Yes, Tanveen ma'am, did it work for you? Yes, Anadi ma'am, I'm waiting. Divya ma'am. Thank you, Sandhya ma'am. Thank you, Divya ma'am. Yes, I'm waiting for you, Tanveen ma'am. I think Tanveen ma'am is not there with us. Okay, I'll move ahead then. What we did, we converted back to the range. I'll say yes. Now, one more thing we have is the normal range. One more thing we have is a normal range. What is a normal range is, suppose I take a data, suppose. I have a name, I'll take department. Okay, I'll take 2-3 names. I'll take Sahil, I'll take Chair, and I'll take Priya. I'll take department as marketing, I'll take as HR and HR. I'll select the data. I'll right click. Every time I want only these person, I want to refer only this much data. I do not want any updated data, but I want to refer only these 3 person. Whenever I refer anywhere in this workbook, I will make it easy to refer by defining a name to this range. Now, I will name it as my range. Of how many persons? Of 3. So I name it as my range underscore 3. The scope of this range is throughout this workbook. Means anywhere on this workbook, on any sheet of this workbook, I can refer this range. I can add comment that it is a worksheet or it's a data of Sahil, Jay, and Priya. Jay and Priya. I added a comment. I'll say okay. Now, the scope of this range is throughout this workbook. I went to any other sheet, suppose. I go to sheet 1. I come down and I come here and I refer my range underscore 3. They are giving me the data of Sahil, Jay, and Priya. How would I know whether he is not updating my range? I'll go back. I'll add one more name down, the way I did with the table. I updated the table. The selection got updated. That means the data got included in the table. Will it happen with my range also? I'll add one more name called Rashi, and I will add the department as finance. Okay. I'll come back to my sheet. I'll come here and I'll say is equal to my range 3. What do you think? Will it get updated? No. So the difference between the range and table is that much only, that range is not automatically updated. If you have to update your range, you have to manually go to your name manager, you have to select your range, you have to edit it, and you have to every time change. You have to make it 6 zeros, or you have to select the range again, like this. Now it is Priya with Rashi. You press OK. Okay, sorry. You select the range and you press OK. You close it. Now you go to sheet 1 and your refer is equal to my range 3. Now it will have the data with Rashi, which is you manually updated your range, and then you will get the updated data of your range, which is not in case of table, which is automatically updated if you add adjacent data. That means in the continuous row or in the next row where your data table ends, you are adding a row, it will get automatically added to your table. The same happens with the column. In the adjacent column, if you're adding something, it will automatically get included in the table data. Are you clear with the range and the table? Yes, Tanveen ma'am, are you back? Are you with us? Divya ma'am, are you with us? Sachin sir, Sai sir, Sanjana ma'am, I want any one of you to be live with me, to give me the feedback, how the speed was, how it was. Did you practice? Did you get all correct? Swapnil sir, Tanveen ma'am, Sumit sir, Sonali ma'am, any one of you, can I have live with me? Okay, Tanveen is on urgent call. It's okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. You've been wonderful throughout the training. Sanjana ma'am, yes, you understood. Thank you so much for your reply, ma'am. Sachin sir, Sai sir, Sachin sir understood. Thank you so much for your feedback, sir. Okay, okay. So let me write down the topics we have covered in today's session, as we have last 5 minutes left. And let me know if you have any doubt, any one of you have any doubt in any of the topic we have covered in today's session. Do let me know. I will just jot down what we have done in today's session. So we started with the basic terminology, the basic building blocks. Any doubt in this, which is the cell, the row, the column. Then we did simple basic formulas of Excel, in which we covered min, we covered sum, we covered maximum, we covered large, and last we covered small. We learned the shortcut key for auto sum. We learned about two types of referencing in Excel, that is your absolute referencing and relative referencing. We covered a tool called table, and we covered difference between range and table. And last, we practiced some of the formulas. Any doubt in any of these modules which we have covered in today's session before we end the session? A quick yes from all of you that you understood and you have practiced along and you are well versed with what we have learned. Thank you so much. A quick yes from all of you before I end the session. Thank you so much. You've been wonderful audience. Thank you so much for participating. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Sonali. Thank you, Vaibhav sir. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow the same time, 2:30 to 4:30, to unravel more features of Excel. Thank you so much. We can end the session. Thank you so much.